Hey guys, welcome back to Ace Attorney Phoenix Wright. Now, little problem. This is actually future me from after finishing the game. I did upload the original part 11 of this series, but it didn't finish uploading. I didn't notice, and so when I upload things to YouTube, I automatically delete them off my computer so I can get space away. But since it didn't upload properly, and I deleted the episode, I can't re-upload it. So this is me re-recording the whole the whole part of this. It's basically a small class trial, I keep on saying class trial, but don't remember. It's basically a small trial, and then a pretty long investigation. I will be skimming through it, basically just letting you know the big facts and stuff like that. And I will be following a walkthrough for this, so I don't mess around and it goes forever. So then I can actually move on to Ace Attorney Justice for All blind, because I won't be following a guide for that no matter what, unless something becomes really hectic. But otherwise, here we go. Time to stream my voice again from chapter start. February 23rd, 11:56 AM, District Court, Defendant Lobby number 2. Up there. Mr. Wright. Huh? What? Are trials always like this with you? Like, you're swimming up from the bottom of a lake, about to reach the surface. But no matter how hard you paddle, you never seem to get there. Pretty much. Except today we're swimming in quicksand. So what happens to your sister anyway? Apparently she got called off to the judge's chambers. Probably something to do with the piece of cloth. So, this is where we turn the trial around, right? Our only weapon, a tiny insignificant piece of cloth. I'm the one who started to feel tiny insignificant, tell the truth. Hola, partner! My favorite character. They say you show a red cloth to a bull, it'll fire up its temper. That's what they told me when I was young, at least. Officer Marshall. Though, thought I'd come to take a look, see how the trial's going. Looks like I'm late. Got the place locked down tighter than a fort on enemy territory. What's going on over there anyway? All the police have seen these last 2 days have been really on edge. Don't you got enough on your plate without worrying about other people, compadre? You could be worrying about the chief prosecutor's taste in mufflers, for example. Officer Marshall, the whole muffler thing didn't have anything to do with scarves. She wasn't even wearing a scarf. You don't say. Now, don't that just beat all? I've seen the red breeze blow at her slender neck many a time. I saw it that day too. She was wearing a red muffler. At the awards ceremony that afternoon, Edgeworth seen it too, I'd reckon. What does that mean? In the photograph taken at the crime scene, she wasn't wearing a scarf. So, Miss Starr wasn't mistaken. Well, it's about time. Remember, partner, sometimes you gotta grab the bull by the horns, and sometimes you just gotta let that bull go where it will. Time will tell. I have a bad feeling about this. So, what are we swimming in now, Mr. Wright? If it's steak sauce, I can hook you up with some fine ribs, ooh-wee! I don't even know how to say that. Ooh-wee! February 23rd, 12:32 PM, District Court, courtroom number 9. It's a big place, there's 9 courtrooms. I'd like to resume. What's up? The judge keeps looking over at the prosecution. Is something wrong, Mr. Edgeworth? Your face seems blue. Your lips are purple. You're sweating bullets. Sorry, we're not allowed to shoot in this place. You must get out of the courtroom if you want to sweat bullets. That furrowed brow, those grinding teeth, those watery eyes. What's more, your eyes are unfocused. You're doubled over. It can't be! This can't happen! I wonder what happened to Mr. Edgeworth. Well then, I believe it is time we continued on with this trial. During our recess, I'd requested the prosecution that this is unacceptable! It seems our prosecutor is quite beside himself. Excuse me. Knock knock. Who's there? What's with this guy? A strange stuffy aura seems to be filling the courtroom. This guy's cool though. Hey, the temperature rose 5.7 degrees when that man came in. Who on earth is he? Do you have like a thermostat on you? Ah, it's you! talk. Oh, hey. Sorry I'm late, Aji. The roads were packed, it's just me. Long time no see, Aji. You been swim much these days? Hello. No, I've been so busy. Busy, Smizzy, Aji. My boy, you have to take time to relax. Yes, indeed. Aji seems to be his nickname for the judge. I'm afraid you're right. Very afraid. I'm sorry, but who are you? So you're Righto, the attorney. I've heard good things about you, son. Huh? Thanks. So sorry about our little Worthy giving you all the little trouble there. You know, we should all go swimming sometime. Jolly! Little Worthy? Mr. Wright! You don't know the District Chief of Police? Chief of Police? He's the top-ranking police officer in the entire district! Moment of silence. Name's Gat, Don Gat. Pleased to meet you. So, to what do we owe the honor today? It's been over 2 years since you last came to this courtroom, hasn't it? Well, it's Worthy here. Look at that poor fellow. I just thought I'd help out by bringing this. Hey, this is his muffler. So Miss Star wasn't just saying things. When the crime occurred, Miss Sky really was wearing that muffler. But to think that it was in the exhaust pipe on little Worthy's car, no less. It's really quite embarrassing even for us. What's this? I'm going to kill all of you now. It's what you call a switchblade knife. Quite perplexing, this. Do you want to feel it on your neck, Aji?
Objection!
Chief, what kind of outfit are you running? Mr. Edgeworth, how could they miss such a vital piece of evidence? You're investigators at this lax. How do you expect us to do our job? Now wait a minute, Aji. I'm Worthy. I've no desire to hear your excuses. I'm telling you to wait. What, didn't you hear me? Have a look at this document where it says person in charge of investigation. There's no mistaking that signature, Miles Edgeworth. That's no fair. Your head in the clouds because you got that award. I know how you feel. But you're the person in charge. We'll expect a written apology. What? Are you serious? Don't be too upset. We'll find a way to clean up the mess that you made. This is the first time I've seen Mr. Edgeworth at a loss for words. This kind of major blunder is unlike you, Mr. Edgeworth. The court accepts this new evidence, but I'd like to ask the defense a favor first. Yes? Just to be sure. I'd like to take a look at the blade of the knife. The blade, Your Honor? Well, I don't see why not. Could you open it for me, I wonder? Yes, well, I think all you have to do is push that switch. If I cut my finger, Mr. Wright, I wouldn't be able to pound the hammer. Yeah, but if I cut my finger, I wouldn't be able to point it at people anymore. Come on, just hurry up and open it. Yeah, fine. Check. It does it automatically, by the way. Okay. So, let's, There's a small tag on the knife. It seems to say SL9 too. What does that mean? Well, I've heard something similar. DL6 or DL6 incident. That's strange. Huh? What is? I'm not certain, but I get the feeling I've seen this some before. Letters like this, or letters that looked a lot like this somehow. Yeah. It's gonna be a big story in the future. Here's a knife. Oh, don't scare me like that! I'm the one who's scared. Damon Gan's going to possess Phoenix Wright and make him kill everyone! No! Look at the knife blade, the tip is broken off. There's a dark red stain. It's dried blood. This does not excuse the actions of the police department. I would like to hear an explanation from the chief of police himself. I'm terribly sorry, but could I ask you to testify for us about the split between the prosecutors and the police and this knife? Sure thing, not a problem, not even a little one, really. Department and something. The knife is special, but I can't say how here, unless there's evidence to prove a connection between the knife and Goodman. That was a bad day for the department. We weren't in any shape to do any investigation. A detective was killed at the police department. See, what a mess. The time of the crime, 5:15. It's not officially linked to this here case, so I can't talk much about it. 2 crimes at the same time. There was a murder at the police department? A detective? That's hush-hush information, Aji. We haven't exactly announced it yet. Wait a second. You said 5:15. That's the exact time that Detective Goodman was killed at the prosecutor's office. Order, order, order! Anyway, we're at the department. We're all flustered. As you might well assume, we're in the middle of a top secret investigation. Don't tell anyone. I think we understand the police department situation. Well, Mr. Wright, 2 detectives killed at the same time, in 2 different places. The chances of that are really slim, scientifically speaking, of course. I'd like to exercise my right to cross-examine the witness. Very well. However, keep your questions focused on the case at hand. This knife is special, but I can't say how here, unless there's evidence. Again, so I should have started this one. Boom, boom, boom. Here. What am I doing? May that special thing be this little tag? Oh, sorry, Raito, but I can't say that now, not that. We've established that the knife in the Goodman's chest was this knife. Now, why was there another knife at the scene of the crime? It's quite a mystery. And like a mystery, it's wrapped in something. A muffler. Now then, I'm gonna... hang on. I'm gonna skip to the 4th one. Where he says the person was killed. On the same day the detective was killed in the prosecutor's parking lot, another detective was killed at the police department? That's a fact. Surprising, isn't it, Aji? I'm at a loss for words. And the perpetrator? Do you have a suspect? Well, there was a suspect. Just arrested him, in fact. Just arrested? That was quick. But there's still a lot of unanswered questions. Maybe you could help, right? I suppose I could help. If you help me by giving me data on your case. Ooh, good one. The kid's sharp. Okay, here's the deal. I'll tell you one thing and one thing only. Well, you can actually repeat this so he tells you everything. But what I want to figure out is how the victim was killed. Well, how was the detective killed? How was he killed? Now that's the interesting part. It was what we in the force call a stabbing with a knife. That's exactly the same as Detective Goodman. That's the spirit. We're cooking now. But you know, that's not the only thing that was exactly the same. What do you mean? There were more similarities between the 2 cases than the cause of death. Seems like I'm gonna have to press this a bit harder. So yep, let's go back to that. And we already know the time. So what we need to figure out now is where exactly he was killed. He was stabbed. So it's like in the police department, where? So tell me, where was the victim found? Well, I can't speak on where the corpse was found, but I can say that the crime took place in the evidence room at the police department. The evidence room? You wouldn't know about the evidence room, would you, Ryder? I can't say. I guess you should ask ask again once I learn a bit more about the evidence room. There's something stranger about this one. Yeah. Okay, so let's go back to the second one. The knife was found at the scene of the crime. I think that makes it connect to the case, don't you? See, there's a lot of things that go on at the department I can't explain. It's delicate, okay? Sorry, Ryder. Maybe there's something about the knife that will give us a clue. Let's examine the knife while we can. Evidence that links the knife to Detective Goodman. I think perhaps the pieces are falling into place. I should try presenting the piece of evidence that had me stumped all the time. So how were things down at the police department? Okay, so this is actually something that caught me by surprise. If you look at this, and then you spin it upside down, give me a second. Display, no. View. Rotation. If you look at it upside down, it says SL9, which is what's on the knife. So, yeah, we need to present this. Wait a second. At last, an honest-to-goodness objection. This knife This has to have something to do with Detective Goodman. What do you mean? And honest to goodness, what do you mean? From the judge, this is great. Look at the tag on the knife. It says SL9, and this is important. Why? Over here, we also have a memo that was on the body of the victim. What's this? 6 minus 7s, 12. Second of the 12th. Your Honor, it's upside down. Upside down? The printed name on the memo makes it look like it's right side up, but turn it around and what do you get? Dramatic! Ah-ha-ha! When he wrote the note, he was holding the paper upside down. Sound 9. That's the same thing that's written on the knife sack. Oh, I'm so smart! Order! Order! Something. Oh well, I guess the cat's out of the bag. You win, Righto. I win? What game is this guy playing? The knife was evidence in the case. It was stolen from the department's evidence room. So this knife was stolen? Yes, but on the day of the murder. It was evidence, you say? Nice, nice, nice. Good show, Littleworth. It was a murder weapon, as it happens. It was evidence from a case long since solved. So this knife was stolen on the day of the murder, and it was found in the exhaust pipe of Edgeworth's car. I think there isn't a connection there. Alright, present. Your Honor, what do you think about the witness statement? I'm not sure how to follow. Okay, fine. I need a... There is a connection to the case now. Oh my god, it's like asking for an... Oh my god. How can you say there's no connection? Huh? Because I'm the chief of police. I can't just say anything I please, Righto. Try to understand, Righto. Well, if you can prove there is a connection, more power to you. Maybe there is something that these two murders together? Whatever it is, I'd better find it. 2 detectives were killed. One at the police department, and that can't be coincidence. And that knife... This knife was evidence in a case. It was stolen from the department's evidence room. Okay, I think I did something. With the link between the 2 cases established, now we can get Gann to testify. Basically, what I did was I went back to the 4th statement, and I hit it, and then I asked where the person was killed, and he mentioned the evidence room. And he did that thing again, and then he said, and then Phoenix realized how they connected, and now this has happened. It's not officially linked to this here case, so I can't talk much about it. Chief, the defense's position is simply this. The connection between these 2 cases has already been proven. Huh, you don't say. Well, out with it, Righto. What's your connection? Yes, out with it, Mr. Wright. The connection is a place mentioned in the testimony we just heard. The knife found in the lot was stolen from the police department's evidence room. Not to mention the victim had written down the numbers on the knife's evidence tag. And we also know that a detective murdered at the police department was killed in that very same evidence room. Indeed, there does seem to be too many connections for it to be a coincidence. You two make a good pair. It took my men 2 days to find out what you deduced right here. Chief, I request that you release your information on the victim at the police department. See, that's the tricky part. It hasn't been announced yet at all. Can we get the information? Unofficially. Sure, why not? It's unofficial after all. What, really? Who would have guessed? I'll cooperate, but I can't reveal the name of the victim in the department. Okay. If you're going to tell us a little, why not tell us everything? Ah, well, case information is sticky stuff. You have to do everything properly. Oh well, I guess I might as well ask him. The ID number. Okay, how about you tell me the victim's ID number? Sure, why not? It's not like you'll be able to tell who it is from that. Of course not. You won't tell me the name, after all. We keep a tight lid on ID numbers, so don't go getting your hopes up. The number is... 5842189. Wow, that's quite long. And we have to remember these. It drives me nuts. 82... I can't do it. You didn't even get the first number right. Mr. Wright, does this tell you anything? Yes, it does. Actually, it does, Your Honor. It does, I think. Meaning... Meaning? It has to be what I think it is. What does this mean? Well, let's hear what the defense has to say. You say the ID number of the detective who was murdered at the police department tells you something. What does it tell you?
Take that!
Witness. What is it, Mr. Wright? You're grinning like a schoolgirl on prom night. No, it's just... I got confused. This news? Huh? Just come out with it, both guns blazing. Like you always do. The police department, the prosecutor's office. 2 places, 2 detectives murdered at one time. Actually, I happen to have a police ID number here. Oh, is it yours? No, Your Honor, I'm a defense attorney, remember? This is the ID number of our victim, Detective Goodman. Shame on you, Righto. Personal IDs are top secret. Detective Goodman's ID number is 5842189. And? This means what exactly? Wait, that ID number we heard from the chief earlier, that started with 82. I forgot it. You even got the first number wrong! The number the chief of the police gave us was 5842189. But wait a second, Wright. What does this mean? That's what I want to know. The 2 numbers are identical, in other words. The detectives killed in the police department's evidence room was Bruce Goodman. What does our witness think about that? Oh, sharp as a tack, Righto, sharp as a tack. But wait, Detective Goodman is our victim. He was killed at 5:15 in the underground parking lot. Yeah, the Detective Bruce Goodman was also killed at the police department, in the evidence room at the exact same time. That's impossible. The same person was killed at the same time, and in a completely different location. 30 minutes away, for that matter. They even mentioned that. Order! Chief, what does this mean? No. What I want to know is why didn't I hear about this? Yes, it's top secret, fine, but I'm the prosecutor in charge of the case. Now, just wait a second, Worthy, no need to get all flustered. Your Honor, the police department has made a grave error in this case. Wait, I said wait. Or didn't you hear me? The oversight, the grave error. Miss Edgeworth, they're yours. What? How dare! We informed you yesterday. I believe it was Officer Meekins who brought you the news. Officer Meekins? Mr. Wright, where have we heard that name before? Wait, aha! Excuse me, Mr. Edgeworth, anywhere on the premises? I'm here, sir, at the request of the chief, sir. I've got your report, sir. You don't mean him? According to Meekins, you didn't accept the report. Hard to believe. But your officer, he told me. He said the report had nothing to do with the Lana Sky incident. Detective Bruce Goodman, murdered in the police department evidence room. Mr. Edgeworth, the victim's name is written on the top of the report. Why didn't your officer tell me? Honestly, I'm not sure if that officer was capable of making the connection. He did seem challenged. In any case, this is a serious error, gross negligence of duty on your part. But sir, you could have submitted that report this morning to the court as evidence. Then No such luck this time, Worthy, or should I say, unworthy. What? Now, what was the second rule of evidence law? Mr. Wright? Huh? Oh, well, it's rule number 2. New evidence may only be submitted if it concerns the case on trial. And how is this relevant? Normally you submit a list of evidence to be used in court before the trial. This report wasn't on that list. So, what does this mean? I couldn't submit this evidence until a connection was proven in court. The connection was just proven by Righto over here. Good job, Righto, my boy. Hey, I was just doing my job. No. No! It seems we have come to the end of this trial. You're becoming a thorn in my side, Worthy. There've been rumors. After all, you were in the defendant's chair just last year. I apologize for this terrible lack of due diligence on my part. Mr. Edgeworth, please, just give me one day. I'll get to the bottom of what happened. If it's the last thing I do. You better get results this time, really. I'm sorry, I'm so sorry. Poor Mr. Edgeworth. I don't think there's ever been an error this serious in the history of this court. We will grant one further day as the prosecution has requested. Will this be sufficient, Mr. Edgeworth? Yes, Your Honor. Thank you. Whatever your punishment for this is, for your sake, I hope it's not decisive. Very well. Court is adjourned. To be continued. Now for the investigation. Yeah, I'm gonna save. February 23rd, 2:15 PM. Wright & Co. Law Officers. Mr. Wright, so what's going on with the case anyway? I'm a little confused. Huh? Well, let's see. What is going on? Victim Detective Bruce Goodman was stabbed to the death after 5 PM on the 21st. He died in the prosecutor's parking lot and the police department's evidence room. What's this and the evidence part? The prosecutor's office and the police department are 30 minutes apart by car. Well, that's what we're going to find out, or try to at least. Alright, let's do it. Glad she's in good spirits, but I'm not sure she's going to be much help with this. Don't be so sure, Mr. Wright. Huh? Would you mind coming with me? I'll prove that these thick-rimmed glasses of mine aren't just for show. Let's go. Science awaits us. February 23rd, Prosecutor's Office, underground parking lot. You know, I really don't think we should worry about the police department murder. There wasn't even a body found there. Who cares? Of course, it was our victim who was killed at the department. And my sister would never do such a thing. I know it. That oil drum. Was it empty? The oil drum kicked over by the chief prosecutor was brimming with water. My sister erasing evidence of the crime scene? Never. Even though she says they don't get along, Emma really likes her sister. That's not it at all. It's just... we're both professionals at what we do and I trust her. Big words for a high school student. Well, whatever. There was bloodstains or not. The water in that oil drum washed it all away. Ignore the strength of my science at your own peril, Mr. Wright. Huh? What's that grin for? The situation calls for one thing, and that is... luminol testing fluid! Luminol? Bloody sticky stuff, and you know, you can't just wash it away with a little water. Even if you can't see it, it's still there. But wouldn't the police have already done those tests? Never trust anyone's eyes but your own, Mr. Wright. Just give it a try. Me? Why do I have to do it? I'm a minor, I can't even drink yet. We're testing bloodstains with this stuff, not drinking it. Here, look, I'll lend you these glasses. Huh? You had an extra pair of these things? And the coolness begins! To test for a blood reaction, just spray the luminol on it. Like this, see? Touch the screen to spray. Okay, let's find us some bloodstains. Bloodstains. I had to click on it. I can see her eyes shining behind those glasses. So this is a bloodstain? It's so... Emma, you're shaking. It's just, this is my first time seeing real blood. Scientific investigation in action. Okay, well, we definitely know this is a bloodstain. But doesn't something strike you as odd, scientifically speaking, of course? What's odd about this, scientifically? The amount of blood. The perpetrator and Detective Goodman fought here, right? Don't you think there'd be a little more blood? I definitely think so. I mean, look at all the blood on the sole of the victim's shoe. It's strange. If they fought here, then there have to be at least more bloodstains in this. Hey, Mr. Wright. See how I'm marking the floor plans where we found a bloodstain? I'm pretty handy to have around, huh? Yeah, it's very useful information. I saved up my allowance to buy this. We can't be sure. Sometimes they'll fail to mention evidence that doesn't fit with the view of the case, and we'll drag that hidden evidence out into the light of day. Yeah, it feels like we're really investigating a crime now. This luminol stuff is going to come in handy. Huh. I wonder how that fluid of yours would react to a nice deli box. Miss Sir, you only trust your own eyes, hmm? This day-old deli box is on the house. Sorry, it's just that kind of lead-in doesn't really get my mouth watering. Okay, today's trial. You certainly put me on a tight spot today. My apologies, Miss Star, but... No, it's okay. It was my fault. Oh, we know. I witnessed everything from the security room right there, but I was afraid that I wouldn't sound convincing enough, you see. I was wrong to think that. I'm sorry. Sorry? You lied on the witness stand. That's unforgivable. Evil face. Little girl, don't forget what's important here. Even if the place I witnessed the events from was different, I still saw what I saw. I saw Chief Prosecutor Sky stab a man in cold blood, and that testimony still stands. I swear it on my honor as a detective. She stabbed Goodman. I know this photograph has something important to tell us, but what? So, you were a detective, weren't you, mister? Yes, it was a long time ago. No matter how hard on the criminal when they faced him. Something. They coughed it up. Coughed it up? They confessed. They babbled like babies. You know. I may seem like a demon sometimes, but I can be an angel too. I wouldn't doubt it. Every day I dragged the dirt out of mouths of suspect after suspect, and before long they called me the cough-up queen. Oh, and here I thought someone had gotten food poisoning from your lunches. And you were let go? Fired? I felt that I had found my dream job when I became an investigator. And if those prim and proper prosecutors hadn't let me go, I'd still be one today. It's all because of that case, the SL9 incident. Wait, she doesn't mean... Yep, let's show her the note. What do you think about this SL9 incident? On that knife? And on that note? Goodman was the head detective of that case, you know. Really? That knife is evidence. It was due for transfer the very day that Goodman was killed. As I suspected, SL9 isn't over, not yet. Do you think you could tell us more about the SL9 incident? Oh, whoops. I thought you would talk about it. I had one of those up to 2 years ago. Back when you were the cough-up queen, right? We found this ID card here in the parking lot. Well, there's no mistaking it, that's definitely Goodman's. But it's the same ID as the man who was killed at the police department. That's impossible. Oh, I wish you could be so sure. You talk about it? Nope. If you think about it, I could have taken that picture of the guard room, but even I get flustered sometimes. So you went straight to the scene of the crime? And climbed the chain link fence in an effort to stop the murder. That's when I took this photo, yes. In other words, 5 minutes after the crime. Those 5 minutes are the whole problem. The whole of my testimony, as it were. Those 5 minutes weren't the problem, Miss You lying was the problem. Listen, little girl. I've done my testimony, and I wasn't going to have it disregarded again. Just like that time. That time? That's when I learned the truth. We're nothing to them. Disposable. Disposable? 2 years ago, it was the biggest case I'd ever handled. I love this picture. The police and the prosecutors were desperate for decisive evidence. So, they didn't solve it? On the contrary, it was solved quite cleanly. The criminal was caught and executed. Executed? Yes, the criminal got what was coming to him. It doesn't get any cleaner than that. The only problem was, they never did find the decisive evidence. Not even a little. What? But the criminal was executed, right? Evidence of a sort, made up evidence. What? You mean they executed someone with fabricated evidence? The best part came several months after the trial. Every detective involved with the case was dealt with. Some were demoted to patrolmen, others found themselves out of a job. And you were one of those. Myself and one other person you know well. Wait, could it be... Exactly. Officer Jake Marshall. He's on security detail in the police department, isn't he? As professional detectives, we investigated that case from every angle. Jake was particularly determined, and then it was over. He was demoted. However, he hasn't forgotten, and neither have I. You haven't forgotten SL9? There was another side to that case, a hidden side. That's what we're after now. And no one up in their fancy offices can stop us. Wait, there's lunches you sell. There's only one reason I come to sell lunches in this accursed office. I come here to meet old friends, boyfriends that can help me investigate. Miss Star's old boyfriends, how many does she have? Just when the detectives on the case have disappeared, we find new evidence. There has to be a connection. So, Rookie. What? It seems like you're serious about investigating this case. Yeah. Then you should take this. A Salisbury steak lunch? I know a certain guy who might help you if you tempt him with this treat. Jake Marshall. Mr. Officer Marshall, is he your, are you going out? What do you want to know? I was just wondering what happened to him. A long time ago, when he was helping my sister do cases, he was so nice. He got along so well with my sister, it made me jealous. And he was nice to me too, back then. This would be when Officer Marshall was a detective. But now he's so cold. Jake and I are merely cooperating on this investigation. By putting the past to rest, as it were. Nothing more than that. I see. Thank you, Officer Jake Marshall. And let's go to the police department. It's even busier here today than it was yesterday. The detectives are running around so fast they're blurring. I suppose it makes sense. The detective did get killed in their own department. So the evidence room, the scene of the crime. According to the pamphlet we got at the front desk. Here it is. She's like a kid at an amusement park. Oh, a real crime scene. Let's go take a look. February 23rd, evidence room, entrance guard station. What's with the decor in this place? According to the pamphlet, this is the guard station for the evidence room. So beyond that door is the evidence room, the scene of the crime? It sure seems that way. Oh. What's wrong? It's that cacti. They're so prickly, it's so imposing, it's hard to think straight. If you can't handle the cacti, stay out of the desert. What I want to know is if this is a guard station. Where's the guard? I have a feeling I know who this guard is already. Let's examine, actually. Fucking hell. The evidence room. Let's just walk in. It won't open. You thought it'd be open? I think we'd need someone's permission to go in there first. Okay, let's go then. This place is charged with frantic energy as always. Please! Huh? Wasn't that? One steak lunch, please! Oh, it's you. Detective Gumshoe. Now's not the time for chit-chat, pal. I'm busy. Wait, I really need a steak lunch from Lunchland. Oh, you mean one of these? Actually, it's not for sale. Oh, I think I just heard the sound of his heart breaking. Now's no time for despair. We've caught our criminal. Now we just need evidence. Criminal, you mean? You heard about the stabbing in the police department's evidence room, pal. Yeah, we already know this. Cool. It's the biggest scandal to hit the station in ages. Everything's topsy-turvy. But Detective Gumshoe, who was it? Listen, pal, all I know is I need my steak lunch pronto. Standing around here talking isn't going to fill my belly. Oh, wait, don't leave. If you want to know more, head on down to the detention center, pal. Questioning him should be over, so I figure he's down there with having a good cry. Later. You ran off to the evidence room. Well, this investigation is off to a running start. Yep. And detention center. February 23rd. Still, I do feel better about things a little. I mean, they called the person who stabbed Detective Goodman, didn't they? Yeah, I guess they did. Best not to go too far down that road right now. Things will just get confusing. What was that? Sir, that's what I'm saying. Me, a perpetrator? I'd say I was the perpetrator again, sir. That's what I'd say. Hi, greetings, sir. Wait, I know who you are. Excuse me, but is Mr. Edgeworth, anyone on the premises? I'm here, sir, at the request of the chief, sir. I've got your report, sir. Officer Meekins, so you're the guard. You're a guard here at the detention center. No, sir, I'm not, sir. I'm a little lost patrolman, like a little lost lamb, sir. Oh, I get it. You're here to deliver a report. No, sir, how should I say this? Wait, he isn't, is he? You, Officer Meekins, you didn't, did you? Perpetrator Officer Meekins reporting, sir. What? What? Now, this is an unexpected turn of events. Meekins. Dare the crime. Sir, I'm a patrolman with General Affairs, sir. Sir! Oh, I can hear you fine, Officer Meekins. I had some business that day, sir, and so I went to the evidence room, sir. The guard office in front of the room was empty, sir. So normally there's a guard at the evidence room. That's right, sir. Because evidence is kept in the evidence room, sir. Now the security officer, none other than Jake Marshall. Marshall? Then, sir, I happened to glance at the security room monitor. That's when I saw him, sir. A suspicious person in the evidence room. A suspicious person, sir. A suspicious person. Yow! What the heck is this guy doing? So what happened then? After then, sir, everything went white. I saw red. I blacked out. And when I came to, I was here in the detention center. How long were you out? Might I ask, what happened to your hand? Sir, there was no one to bandage me, sir. So I did what I could to wrap it up, sir. A bandage on his hand? Just like Miss Sky. Yet another similarity between the case and the one at the prosecutor's office. First things first. I don't mean to pry, but you are the perpetrator, correct? You killed Detective Bruce McGoodman in the evidence room? Sir, please don't look at me like this sad, happy eyes. If you have to label me as prosecutor or victim, sir, then label me victim. I would, but you happen to be in detention. And alive and well, all that. And, yes, well, that's true, so I suppose you could say that. Did you know the victim, Detective Goodman? Well, sir, if I had to label him as a stranger or a total stranger, then I'd say he leans heavily on the total stranger side. So, you didn't know him. So, I work in a tiny department devoid of light and all other creatures of comforts. I don't know any detectives. Sir, if he was a total stranger, why did you stab him? So, I had no intention of killing him, sir, none! Nor do I have any recollection of killing him. At least someone around here is more confused than I am. Sorry. And your hand, that happened when Detective Goodman was stabbed. Well, you see, sir, don't you think you should just confess? But sir, but there was nothing I could do. Nothing you could do? Sir, to tell the truth, sir, what happened? When the detective pointed that knife at me, I just hold, sir. And the next thing I knew, I was unconscious. The next thing I knew you were, huh? Then when I opened my eyes, I was alone in the evidence room, sir, all alone. Alone because Detective Goodman disappeared. What? Then when I looked down, I was gushing blood from my hand, sir. All the shock, all the sorrow, sir. Can you imagine how I felt? The victim's body disappeared? That's some story. Well, let's see if he knows this ID. Do you think you could take a look at this? Hey! That's it, sir! That's it! That's it! That's what? My head was a-bling until this very moment. But, sir, now I remember, sir! You mean you remember what happened? Correct! The car was the cause of it all. This ID card? Exactly, sir, that's exactly it! Nothing could be more exact, sir, nothing! I better pry into this one little deeper. Oh, crime details. Whoops. Can you tell me what it is you do remember? Well, sir, you might say I'm a little lost patrolman, a little lost lamb, if you will. I didn't know Mr. Detective Goodman who was in the evidence room, and that's why you thought he looked suspicious? So I entered the evidence room and asked the man to display his ID card. Well, that sounds pretty much by the book so far. That's right, sir. That's what I've been trying to tell you. So you asked Detective Goodman to show his ID card. What did he do? That's the thing. Suddenly he pointed a knife at me. What? So I assure you, I was as flustered as you are right now. So I whooped and leapt at him. Detective Goodman pointed a knife at him? Do unto those before they do unto you, my own father's words, sir. What happened there? Well, my eyes, sir, everything went white. When I woke, I was here. Right. So, Officer Meekins, why was it that you arrested you? What do you mean, Emma? Let's look at what he knows. Now, Officer Meekins didn't know Detective Goodman, and the victim whom he met at the scene of the crime didn't show his ID card. In other words, we have no way of knowing if the victim was really the victim. And if this body just disappeared from the evidence room, we don't even know if anyone actually died. That's it, sir. That's what I wanted to say. That is, I did say something along those lines. Huh? But you still ended up here? They told me it had to be him, sir, on that day at the crime. Detective Goodman was definitely in the evidence room. That's what he said. But you don't remember the events clearly. No, but the videotape is quite clear. Huh? Videotape? From the security camera. The crime, my crime, the crime I swore to stamp out. It's there, it's me, it's on tape. And you wait until now to tell us that? I'm sorry, really sorry, sir. I'll hand over my badge. You don't deserve it. No, thanks. I have my own. Well, guess we'd better go to check out the crime scene. We can finally head over, but first we need to head over here. Sorry, just checking. Just a tiny little thing. And that's good. Hey, Mr. Wright. It's Chief Gant. Are you sure this is all? You know what it means if there is anything missing. Sir, I'm sure it's almost likely totally perfect. We checked the drawers, the lockers, the pillowcases behind the computer monitors, the coffee machine. I see. Well, if anything does turn up, you call me right away, deal? Yes, sir. The head detective looks a little flustered. Aha, right, my boy. How you been? Swim much? Oh, Chief Gant, reporting for duty, sir. Why are you saluting him, Mr. Wright? Oh boy. Is Edward going to be okay? Oh, Worthy, oh, you know, they're doing a little inquiry meeting with him. Sounds like an inquisition. Yep, well, we've had no end of trouble with the boy since last year. You mean the incident in the Gold Lake? It doesn't look good having one of our top people sitting in the defendant's chair. Now, you got someone else found guilty in that case, right, Righto? Von Karma. A legend, he was undefeated in his 40-year career, but in court, you fixed it so he was caught for forging evidence. Well, wait, I didn't do anything wrong. He did forge evidence. In any case, the prosecutor's office is in a bit of turmoil, you might say. Why, they just do about anything to restore their reputation. Now, depending on what the inquiry committee decides, it could be bad for Worthy. What? It's downright odd, I tell you. I mean, it happened at exactly the same time. The murder at the prosecutor's office. Scientifically speaking, it's impossible. Yes, but that's what the evidence is saying. Goodman was stabbed in 2 locations at the same time. That's what it says. What evidence is this? Now, Righto, I can't give away all our secrets just like that. And this in particular, well, it's a little sensitive, and I can't talk about it. I wasn't expecting much anyway. You know, one thing I hate most of all is hiding stuff. Secrets, can't stand them. But, you know, it's a full-time job, just keeping the head detective's trap shut. Ah, he was the one you were picking on earlier. Huh? You saw that. Whoops. I wonder what it was that he wanted the head detective to do. Let's see if we can find it just kind of discreetly ask him. Okay, let's examine. And talk to the chief. Oh, sorry you had to see that. What exactly did the chief of police want you to do? Well, see over there. That's Goodman's desk. He wanted me to check it for anything that might be a clue. They took away every little piece of garbage in the trash can. So nothing belonged to Detective Goodman is still there? Of course not. Well, except for this. What, you kept something? Sure, why not? It's not important, you just didn't finish writing it. It's a lost item report, but it's only half complete. A lost item? Did Detective Goodman lose something? The date on it is February 21st. I'll make a note of that just in case. His ID card. He was lost. Permission granted. Yeah. Actually, I was wondering if I could ask you a favor. Well, I never thought the day would come when Righto asked me for help. I was wondering if we could investigate the evidence room. No, Righto. Actually, I'm sorry. I don't need to investigate after all. Righto, please, do I look like a selfish man? Huh? Heck, if anyone asked me, sir, can I borrow $50? I'd give them $50, no problem. So go ahead, investigate that room to your heart's content. Knock yourself out. Just goes to show you never know until you ask. And for you, here, you can borrow this. Hey, this is the detective's ID card. That's a special card for guests, so don't lose it. Yes, sir, it's an honor. You just run along now and do your best now. Later, folks. It looks pretty cool on my label, doesn't it? Just think, a real ID. You seem happy. Yes, sir, because, sir, we get to go into the evidence room now, sir. I think this place is a bad influence on the girl. Always saying sir. Okay, let's go back to the police department. And into the guard room. Okay, start by examining the door. The evidence room is beyond that door. And we have the ID card from Chief Gant. Let's just walk in. It won't open. Aha, the card reader is turned off, see? What is that security guard thinking? Howdy, partners. Well, well, what's made my Bambina's sky so grey? Yes. Hello. Officer Marshall. Somehow I knew. What's that somehow I knew look for? As you may have surmised, this is my saloon. We're here to investigate the crime scene. Yeah, that card you got there on your chest. That's better than a sheriff's badge in these parts. Yeah? Well, what you standing there for? Get along, little doggies, the crime scene's awaited. Looks like the card reader's on again. While we're here, I was wondering if we can ask you some questions. Sorry, cowboy, but I got no mind to tangle with you homebrews. You're busy then. Did I say that? I only said I didn't wish to speak to you. Actually, you said you had no mind to tangle with these hombres. Okay, let's give him the food. Fucking eat. That smell. Oh, reminds me of Texas. So, Officer Marshall, you're from Texas? No, I just saw a special on television from the other day. Is this from my baby? That's a joke, I think. I think that's a joke. Yeah, Miss Starr. What's this? What's wrong? A fillet steak lunch. I see. I don't see. Alright, Bambina, you win. Ask them on my road. Anything, snack. Finally, it seems like he's willing to talk! Guard office. Officer Marshall, you're in charge of security for the evidence room, sir. I'm right. You got good eyes, partner. It's an easy job, and I'm grateful for it. Actually, Officer Meekins at the detention center told us. That poor little doggy. Poor guy. I keep getting his name wrong and calling him Meekly. He taught us something. He said that when the stabbing occurred, you weren't at your station. Well, maybe I shouldn't be telling you this, but since I got demoted from detective 2 years ago, well, it might not look like it, but I lost my fire for the job, you know. So, what were you doing around 5:15 when the murder took place? Well, I reckon I was galloping down the highway in the back of my steed, Zippy. Note, he was riding down the highway on a horse named Zippy. There's no need for people here, anyway. These newfangled machines do a bang-up job of keeping an eye on this place. Even the security camera system. I don't take machines much. Kinda like that stewed broccoli they sneak in next to your steak, huh? Miss Starr told us something. She said that you were a detective until 2 years ago. It was always my dream to be a rawhide wrangler on the scene of the crime. That's all gone now, like a drinking hole on a prairie fire. You're still investigating the SL9 incident with Miss Starr, aren't you? That was my case. It was solved on the record books, but it smells like a bad game of poker. Can't let it go. That's all there is to it. What kind of case was it anyway? We've heard the name so many times, but no one tells us exactly what happened. There are some things that are better off not knowing, Bambina. Anyway, the case is officially dead as of 2 years ago. 2 years ago. 2 days. 2 days ago? The day of our case. That's right. The evidence transfers. Edgeworth was talking about that transfers too. I know what maybe 2 of the machines in here do. Only 2 of them? There must be dozens. Like I said, Bambina, mere machines, well, I like them about as much as I like stewed cauliflower with my steaks. The easiest ones to understand are here, the security cameras. Those are the ones that Officer Meekins mentioned. If nothing happens, the tapes are automatically erased every few hours. And Officer Meekins and Detective Goodman, are they on one of those tapes? I reckon they might be. You're the security guard, you reckon? One more thing. When you go into the evidence room, you need an ID card. That's the ID card reader by the door. The card reader leaves a record of every ID card passed through. So this is the ID card record. Ugh, hey, I've seen that in some before. Sorry, Bambina, I can't show you more than that. Huh? I haven't heard whether this is related to the case yet. Mr. Wright, I saw a number on that record just now. I've seen that card before. There's some way I can prove the record is tied to the stabbing. Wait, I need to talk about one more thing. Sorry, but could you explain about this whole transfer thing? We keep only evidence from solved cases in this room. They're kept here under the presiding detective's supervision for 2 days. 2 years, so we can reinvestigate them if it turns out there was a mistake, see? So what happens to the evidence after 2 years? It goes to sleep forever in the underground vault of the police station. That's what we call transferal. We do it every February. See now, transferal is like a funeral for old cases. 2 years after a case is solved, it's closed forever, dead. Never to be reopened again, never to be reinvestigated. And that happened to SL9 2 days ago. Yeah, that's why you don't do those stupid things, okay? Usually just, I guess, space, but still. Okay, let's prove to him that that is special. See, this is the victim's ID card. Ah, the one that was on the ground in the parking lot. The number on this is 5842189. Officer Marshall, show us the ID number on that ID card record. There it is. Look, the 4th number. It's a perfect match. It was used at 5:14, right before the stabbing. What's more, there's only one of them cards in the world. So when the incident occurred, Detective Goodman was in the evidence room. Wait, what did Officer Meekin say? So I entered the evidence room and asked the man to display his ID card. So you asked Detective Goodman to show his ID card? What did he do? That's the thing, suddenly he pointed a knife at me. If he had his ID card, then why would he have pointed a knife at Officer Meekins? Alright, Comprende, you win. I guess I can give you this ID card record. I've got an idea. Maybe I should show this list to other people and IDs here. Well, first of all, let's head into the room. Evidence room's beyond that door. Turn on the card reader. Go have yourself a ball. Have the ID card. To get this investigation started already. And here we go. Bum bum bum. Man, bum. It's quiet. The investigation must be over here. So this is the evidence room. It really is kind of like a graveyard. Graveyards are supposed to have grass and trees. This feels like a morgue. Nice try, Mr. Wright. You can't scare me. Detective Gumshoe. Eek! Whoa. She slapped him. Sorry, I thought you were a ghost. I wouldn't recommend going around smacking ghosts on the head, pal. So was it true what I heard? Righto, please do I look like a selfish man? Heck, if anyone asked me, sir, can I borrow $50, I'd give them $50. So go ahead, investigate that room to your heart's desire. Yeah, it's true. So Chief of Police Gant will loan anyone $50, even me? Oh, so that's what you were talking about. Actually, I was put in charge of the investigation for today. Just for today? Boss for a day. But guess what? You got permission from the Chief. So now you're boss for a day. Gee, thanks. First of all, you'll want to have this. Evidence room. So, Detective Gumshoe, you're boss for a day. That's right, it's an honor. After all, the murder took place right here in the police department. But if you're boss, where are your underlings? They're using our findings from yesterday's investigation to prepare for the trial. In other words, Detective Gumshoe got kicked out of the investigation again. I'm adamant, though. I'm going to take control and put this case to rest. In my own evidence locker, pal. You have a locker in here, too? Of course. I'm a detective, after all. They gave me a locker that only I can open, pal. Only you can open? I'll always believe in Mr. Edgeworth, no matter what happens. So, Mr. Edgeworth is with the inquiry committee now, right? They're trying to figure out who's responsible for the mess-up in court today. I see. I guess this is what you call fate. Mr. Edgeworth just can't get away from the case. That case? Yeah, that case. The SL9 incident. That was the beginning of the end for Mr. Edgeworth. Maybe we can get him to tell us more about that case. This place is more high-tech than you might think. Every locker is fixed so that only one detective can open it. Using this ID card? Well, that's the thing, pal. ID cards can be lost. I am on the 3rd card since entering the force already. That sounds like a lot. Yes, but even I can't lose my own right hand. Right hand? Oh, you mean your fingerprint? Exactly, pal. The lock for each locker is coded with a fingerprint. And that's the only locker we can open. Funny, they look like normal lockers. Those are the latest model. Sorry. These are the latest model. There's a trick to the handles, see? The handles. On the other side of the handles is a sensor, and if the wrong person touches it, zap, you get a shock. If that's what happened, my hand would be black and smoking every day. In any case, the locks aren't that obvious. There's even some people in the force that don't know about the fingerprint locks. Detective Goodman's note, and that switchblade knife. I bet Edgeworth was the most surprised of anyone. Because of the SR9 connection? That was Mr. Edgeworth's first big case, you know, 2 years ago. That was the first time the world knew Edgeworth was a man to be feared. But why would evidence from that case turn up now? I guess it's not over, pal. Maybe there is some loose ends left on that case. Yeah, that was a bloody violent case. Violent? So it was a murder. Serial killing. Serial killing? Maybe I don't want to get involved in this after all. But the killer made a mistake and Mr. Edgeworth built his case around that to nab him. And this was 2 years ago? That put Mr. Edgeworth right in the spotlight and started the rumor mill. Rumors about forged evidence? It was supposed to be all cleaned up with the transfer the other day. It was the last job he ever did. Detective Goodman, that is. Huh? What do you mean? Detective Goodman was the detective in charge of the SR9 incident, see? So that switchblade knife. The victim took the knife out of the evidence locker himself? Interesting. Could you take a look at this? This is the ID card record of the people who came in here on the day of the stabbing. Oh, I heard the rumors. So it was Goodman who came in here at the time of the murder. Whoa! What is it? That second number! It's not your ID number, is it, Detective Goodman? Mr. Edgeworth! What? The second number on this list belongs to Mr. Edgeworth. What? What? ID card record updated in the court record. Why would Mr. Edgeworth have come to the evidence room? Okay, let's examine. And let's use luminol. That was weird. Okay. Why am I getting a reaction here? There's no reason for the murderer to touch this spot if he fled out the door. This just might be something significant. Hey, that's some pretty amazing stuff you got there, pal. What's this? It's called luminol testing fluid. Where'd you get your hands on that? I'd have to get some too. I'll just borrow $50 from the chief. Where'd you get it, Emma? I always buy it by mail order. Well, I'd better jot this down on the floor plans. There's something sticking out of here. Looks like a shirt. I wonder if Detective Gumshoe put this here. There you go, pal, making me out to be some kind of slob. I'm not responsible for the evidence here. That's sad. I bet the evidence locker was open recently. How do you know? If you leave things hanging out like this, the evidence gets dirty or ripped. The guard checks on that kind of stuff and notifies the detective responsible. How many times have I had him breathing down my neck about some silly evidence? Sounds like Detective Gumshoe leaves evidence hanging out a lot. I bet he doesn't tuck in his shirt onto that trench coat either. If you're going to talk behind someone's back, don't do it right in front of them, pal. What is the saw and paint doing here? Since the dawn of time, true art has always been a war against oppression. True art? I noticed that there's blue and yellow paint here. Perhaps we're witnessing the birthplace of the Blue Badger. Well, you might say this is my studio. Here in the evidence room? Someone left a glove here. Detective Gumshoe, maybe. There you go, pal, making me out to be some kind of absent-minded detective. There's evidence from that case, you know. You mean SL9? There's a tag on it. Look, this one's open. That locker is coated with Detective Goodman's fingerprint. Detective Goodman's locker? Are you sure it's okay to leave it open like that? Well, it'd be hard to get it open again if we closed it. It's empty, they must have taken the contents elsewhere. Well, someone must have broken something big to make all these pieces. Did Gumshoe, perhaps? There you go, pal, making me out to be some kind of hooligan. That's apparently from the case. The case? SL9 isn't a pal. See the sticker? Check it out closer. I wonder what shape these pieces were in before it was broken. You want to try to put it back together? Huh, good luck, pal. That's no job for amateurs. Well, I spent a good 3 hours on that before I had to give up. That's why I always carry around a tube of glue. Well, this piece looks like the bottom. Let's try putting the rest in place. Right, here we go. No. Okay. Okay, it's this one. Come on. There. Nope. That's better. Well, I think we did it, but some of the pieces are missing. It only took me 2 minutes to do. Problem is finishing it. Were some pieces stolen? I bet they were missing to begin with. Still, it doesn't look like this most stable kind of jar. I kind of understand how it got broken. Look it out. It's hard to make out, but I think there's a dark red stain here. Looks like blood. Do you think Detective Goodman's blood somehow got on it when he was stabbed? Not likely. His blood looks like it's been there for months. This jar was evidence in SL9, isn't it? That might be when the blood got on it. There must have been a massive amount of blood here. I've never seen so much before. I'm not a professional. What's your opinion, Detective? Pale blue blood. Maybe the Detective Goodman was actually an alien. This proves that something really happened in front of this locker. I'll make a note of it on the floor plans. Hey, if you don't want my opinion, you shouldn't have asked. Okay. Yeah. This is something's right handprint. What? What's the matter, Detective? This locker, it's mine. It's yours? Please, you have to help me when they come to take me away. Promise you'll testify that I wouldn't hurt a harm a fly. You'll do that for me, won't you, pals? This is an important clue. I'll jot it down in the floor plans. I'm counting on you guys. Believe me, you can't trust the police. What? But you're a detective. Hey, pal, look at the time. Was there something you need to be doing? It's just that Mr. Edgeworth's inquiry committee should be letting out soon. I'm going to go give them my report for the day. What the hell does that say? It might help, you know. Report? You mean the note written on the back of the flyer? The one that says nothing but no problems? Hey, it's Mr. Edgeworth we're talking about. I'm sure he can use a report like this. I believe in him. Who needs enemies when you got friends like Detective Gumshoe? I'm off, pal. Later. I should probably see what Mr. Edgeworth has to say too. Before we do one thing... What's this? Blood? It's a little worn, but there's definitely a handprint here. Looks like someone tried to wipe it off. But Mr. Wright, what if there are other bloodstains left in the room? We should use testing fluid. Yeah, we've already done that. Let's head over to Edgeworth. Ah, guests, my apologies. Oh, it's you. Have we met somewhere? Huh? Mr. Edgeworth, I beg your leave, sir. Whatever. So long. Is Mr. Edgeworth there? There, standing by the window. Teacup in the hand. Ah, it's you. Here's the hotel bring him tea service? Mr. Edgeworth, you're back from the district prosecutor's office inquiry? Precisely. By the way, Detective Gumshoe was looking for you. Oh yes, he brought me some information, it seems. Really? Was it helpful? Apparently, a new French restaurant is opening near here. I think he was trying to console me somehow. I think the report is on the other side, Edgeworth. Poor Mr. Edgeworth. I think this whole thing is really taking a toll on him. So how did the inquiry committee go? Actually, I decided to treat this not as a case of concealing evidence, but as a communications error during the investigation. Concealing evidence? Yes, apparently there are some who believe that I concealed evidence. They gave me a warning. You were lucky this time, again. Again? I've heard them say that so many times. Ever since that case 2 years ago. Are you okay with tomorrow's trial? Well, I'm still the presiding prosecuting attorney, however. Something happened. I gave control of the investigation over to the police department. The police department? Yes, any further investigation of this case will be directed by the chief of police, Gant. I can do nothing but wait for his results. I see. Why, I ask you, why? All along I've done only what I believe is right. I've nothing to be ashamed of. But still, wow, I've never seen him this out of sorts. Oh, right. As I was saying, what's this? A record of ID card usage? Edgeworth, you went into the evidence room that day, didn't you? Just before the incident occurred, no less. Yes, that's true. Why? Mr. Edgeworth, please don't look at me like that. I was asked to go. The Chief Gant, no less. Chief of Police? He wanted evidence for a case that wrapped up half a year ago. He told me that he wanted me to keep it in here. Keep it here in the prosecutor's office. But it was solved, right? It would have to be if the evidence was already filed. The chief is never one to explain himself. In any case, on that day of the stabbings, I brought this back here. Can I ask what kind of case it was? I can't say. It really has nothing to do with the current case. Now I'm curious about this other case. I did make a note of it. Someone was killed with a screwdriver. Unrelated evidence. Stubborn as always, I told you this has nothing to do with the current case. I suppose. Okay. I know you. You probably got a hold of some information already, right? It all has to do with that case you're on, the SL9 incident, and some dark suspicion you were wrapped up in. You're the man who revived the worst memory of my life, as I recall. I figured I'd be telling you about this sooner or later. Bad memories. Talking about the murder in the elevator. Okay, Edgeworth, why don't you tell me the truth? Tell the truth. Allegations of forgery. This 09 incident was a heinous serial killing case. The head of investigation was the deputy chief of police at the time, Damon Gant. That wacky old coot was involved in this case 2 years ago then. He was the best we had, and it was my first time working with him. I was nervous. Wow, you get nervous too, Mr. Edgeworth? What I want to know is why was the deputy chief of police on the investigation? In truth, I'll use slightly more extreme methods than normal. We were dealing with a vicious murderer. We won our guilty verdict and the killer is executed. Wait, you didn't? Of course not. I didn't touch the evidence. Yes, I will do anything in my power to win a trial. However, I do have a code and I follow it faithfully. By the way, Emma, the chief prosecutor wanted to know something. My sister? What? You still working on that? Yes, of course. Oh, right, Fingerprint. Why, just today Mr. Wright and I were using this. Luminol testing fluid, huh? Well then, you might have a use for this. Luminol powder for taking fingerprints? It's been chemically treated for better addition. For me? Are you sure? We are the enemy, you know. I have no say in today's investigation. Edgeworth, I'm really... No need to thank me. Here, take your powder and these fingerprint files for everyone involved. Thanks. How about giving these Detective Gum a show? Yay, fingerprints! Well, let's get going. Right. I do seem to remember seeing a suspicious handprint somewhere. Yes. Let's go get the handprint. Please depth. Depth. Please depth. Security guard office. And last but not least, evidence room sector 3. Our investigation turned up a suspicious handprint. Here, and the blood on the detective's looking evidence locker. Let's use the secret weapon we just borrowed. This bit's gonna get annoying because it's actually touchscreen and mic. Right, let's get started first. Choose a finger. Finger? Each finger leaves behind a different handprint. Let's choose the finger that will have left behind the clearest print. I really can't tell the difference at a glance. I'm quite procrastinating and choose a finger. I'm gonna choose this. Okay, now it's time to check for prints. Let me show you how it's done. Emma's starting to get the sparkle in her eye. First, we sprinkle the aluminum powder around. Huh? How do you do that? Just touch the screen. Ah, looks like that's a trick. The aluminum powder adheres completely to the print. Once the powder is well spread, just blow away the excess. How? Just blow with your breath. Imagine you're blowing out the candles on a birthday cake. Ah, that looks fun. It might take some getting used to, though. It's fine, it won't go up your nose or anything. You just pour the powder on thick and blow away. Those are the basics of the fingerprinting, Mr. Wright. I guess I'd better give it a try. Yeah, the bad thing about this is that you actually have to use the mic, and I'm using an emulator. But when I first originally did this, I figured out a way to do it. There's actually a setting in the emulator where you can hold down Q or any button you choose, and the mic activates, so I'm just using that. Ah, you did it! You found one! But this looks nothing like a fingerprint. Now that you mention it, I guess it doesn't. What does it mean? I think it means we're out of luck. Out of luck? The person who left this handprint must have worn gloves. Don't tell me you've been wasting our time here. Hey, calm down. That's just the way it goes sometimes with scientific investigations. But it does seem a shame. While we're at it, why don't we look for other prints? Other prints? Looking at the locker door again closely. Seems like there are fingerprints outside the bloody handprints. Let's see if we can find a clear print. Fingerprints outside. Whoa. I am so sorry for that. Oh my god. I accidentally held the recording side of it, like the box, like the rectangle box, and extended it outwards, inwards, so it became shorter. Sorry if that messes with your eyes. Yeah, a print so clear it's dazzling. Dazzling? Anyway, this print took a lot of effort to find. Let's mash it up right away. So we're not done yet. This is quite a process. Well, there's no point in finding fingerprints and not knowing who the owner is, right? Yeah, she's right. Look at the fingerprint data we got from Miss Edgeworth. Point out the person you think this is. How am I supposed to know? I could make a pretty good guess. Bloody handprint and the fingerprints are in different places, right? That means that the prints probably didn't have anything to do with the case. So whose fingerprints would most likely find on the evidence locker? Gumshoe. Comparison. Match found. Aha, so these prints belong to Detective Gumshoe. Something wrong, Mr. Wright? You gave me this so what look. I guess that's probably because I'm thinking so what. Okay, so we came up with nothing this time, but there's always next time. Sometimes you hit, some things you miss. You gotta roll with the punches, Mr. Wright. Thank you for the sympathy. Wait, if I remember correctly, there was one other handprint. Yes, there was. Right, there was a handprint here. Okay, wanna try using this? There we go. Check for prints. Okay, let's check for prints. That's the spirit. Oh, but I have to warn you about something first. What? That area with the blood was wiped away, right? We only ended up finding it using chemical means. Any prints in that area will have been wiped away too. Oh, right. So that means no prints. Would you say the probability of your hypothesis is high? Don't ask me. Anyway, we must try to find prints that weren't wiped away. Prints other than the ones left by the bloody hand. These? And... Jake Marshall. Hey, these fingerprints, whose are they? Whose? Is it someone I know? It's Officer Marshall. Huh? Officer Jake Marshall? That's gotta be a coincidence. Emma, these are decidedly different from Detective Gumshow's prints. Luminol reaction. Oh, so we have Jake Marshall's fingerprints on a white bloodstain. But why would Jake Marshall... It looks like our investigation is finally turning up results. I guess this is what you call decisive evidence. I don't believe it. To be continued. So yeah, that's where I'm going to leave you guys. The next episode will be past me actually properly playing the game blind. But I'm sorry I had to re-record this. I was stupid and deleted the episode without making sure it was fully uploaded. But we're finally done it, and I'll make sure that this gets uploaded properly. So if you're watching this now, or yeah, then you know. So I will see you guys next time. I can go have something to eat finally, and yeah, see ya.